And welcome back to Whiskey Buds. I'm Kurt,
I'm Billy.
and we are still on our search to find a whiskey that Billy actually enjoys. So, last episode, you might remember, we had the monkey shoulder, and it didn't do so well. So, let's move on next. Chances are, honestly, I don't hold out a whole lot of hope for this. At the end of last episode, we started talking about how the space sides or the stronger whiskeys might be a little bit more his forte, but nevertheless, this is what I have planned, so this is what we're going to do. Let's get rid of the monkey shoulder because that's not a favorite. And today, we're going to go all the way across the, Pacific, and to Japanese whiskey. This is Suntory Toki. It's a Japanese blended malt, right? So they blend their thing, so it's very similar to the monkey shoulder in that it's blended, but this one's from Japan. Now, I don't know the guy's name, but the original guy who started distilling whiskey in Japan actually traveled to Scotland to learn how Scotland made Scotch. So a lot of them are in the vein of Scotch. So this is going to be very reminiscent of the Scotch, and the malt and things like that. So it'll be kind of interesting what we come up with. I do actually have some tasting notes on this, so we will see if we can't pick those out. And hopefully, maybe we'll get somewhere with it.
So I just want to note that this bottle is like square.
Yeah.
Where the other bottles so far have all just been
rounded or
yeah.
And we've been kind of on the subtle end of things. Nothing too fancy for bottles. This one actually is probably getting a little fancier, even though it's got the square or the screw top lid on it.
I kind of feel like it's like in a suit because he's got like
the squared
shoulders and like the neck,
the little thing that came over there, yeah.
Black top hat.
Yep. And this one's again another 43%, so same as the last one.
So what is Toki?
Toki is Japanese for time. And I'm not sure exactly why they have chosen, the time adage on it. It is actually kind of an interesting thing because right now Japanese whiskey became very popular, made popular in part by Jim Murray. Jim Murray wrote the Whiskey Bible. Bill Murray. Oh. And a Murray you'll actually know. Bill Murray. He's a fan of Japanese whiskeys, and he did like a commercial, something about it's Suntory time. I haven't actually seen. Yeah, and he
that's good.
Did a cheers. So, and then people started to drink it. At least that's what it seems like. And then they found out, hey, this is really good, which it is. And now you can't hardly find the stuff, or it gets very difficult to find. They then created this one because this is a blend, so it's non-age statement. So what they ended up doing was they had to discontinue several of their older whiskeys, whiskeys because they're not scotches, like 17 years old. Because when you have an age statement on a bottle, the minimum barrel that goes the minimum age of the barrel that goes into that blend, which I know this is a blended whiskey, but in the single malts they'll blend multiple barrels, and you could have barrels from 20 years, 15 years, and 12 years. And if that's the case, you can only have a 12-year-old whiskey. Mm. So you have to have at least a minimum of 12-year-old whiskeys. Well, how do you know what your demand is going to be 12 years from now? Japan had no idea that they were going to make all these whiskeys and fill their barrels, and then 12 years from now or 20 years from now, all of a sudden, it was going to explode in popularity, and they couldn't supply it fast enough. So they've had to discontinue some of their age statements, like the Hibiki 17. I think Hibiki 12 might be discontinued also. And there's Yamazaki 17, I think. And then I happen to have a couple of bottles of Yamazaki 12 that we'll probably try. But the stuff gets hard to get because you have to wait 12 years.
I used to have a Yamaha.
Yeah? This is a little different. So, all right, now give this one. This one, I think, I'm betting this one's going to be not. I mean, you might like it a little bit more than monkey shoulder, but I bet it's going to stay within the same kind of
It smells
realm.
kind of similar. I mean, the color is kind of similar. It
Yes,
looks like
it
a
is.
lighter, though. Lighter
Yeah, this
color.
one's a little bit lighter. The tasting notes on it say that in the smell in the nose that you should find maybe some basil or some green apples.
I can see the green apple.
Can you?
Yeah.
All right.
Or I can smell it.
Yeah.
I can't see any.
No. And then maybe even some honey in there.
Yeah, honey. I don't. No basil though. I don't.
No basil?
smell that.
All right. Yeah, I get a little bit of the green apple if I really think and try and think about it, but I don't know. And then you can see it's kind of
Yeah, I saw that.
got a little bit of the oil, the same as monkey shoulder does. And again, this is made in very similar vein. I think I don't know. I should have remembered that, but I believe it's all malted. But it may have some grain whiskeys in there also, which are like the corn and the rye and things like that.
Are we ready?
Yeah, you could taste any time after you smell it and give us your thoughts on
I'm still like,
smell.
how long are we supposed to smell this? Oh, fire.
I got a little burn on that one, but not too bad. This one to me is very similar to the other, to the monkey shoulder. Very light. This one actually feels a little lighter. Tastes a little lighter. Like,
Yeah, it does have a kind of a strong flavor in there, though.
they're saying that on the flavoring notes you might find like a grapefruit or green grapes. And I heard actually in another video that it might be more like the grape peels more than anything in the flavor.
Well, I took a tiny sip there and it's like all alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I'll take a bigger one.
All right. Do you get any of the peppermint? Because that's part of the tasting notes on there where they say they get maybe some peppermint. And I think I do get a little bit the idea of that peppermint in there. Grapefruit?
Maybe that's like there's like a little bit of a spicy taste that's not alcohol.
Yeah.
I think. Oh man.
That one. All right, so where's this one rating for you versus the monkey shoulder? I thought they were going to be similar. Was I right?
Yeah, I think they're pretty similar. I don't.
You got to try again.
I don't know what to think of these.
Yeah, on after you finish it, the finish of it after you've swallowed.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
That's the finish, and it says it'll be a little sweet, a little bit spicy. Do you get that?
If it's sweet, there's just like a tiny bit of it.
Tiny bit of it?
Tiny bit. It's rough for me. It's rough. I mean, after everything calms down in there, it kind of like has a nice little taste feel for a little bit.
But so
I wouldn't say it's worth it.
both the Maker's Mark and the Monkey Shoulder, you said after you got it through the initial burn, the aftertaste and the finish made you want to go back for more, right?
So the Maker's Mark is probably the best at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Maker's Mark is slightly better than the Monkey Shoulder. I think that's the conclusion we had last time.
I think I'd put this one on the bottom.
The very bottom. All right.
There's probably somebody out there that's like, man, that is the best shit ever. I
Yeah.
can't believe
I mean,
you don't like it.
it's not the best, but it's definitely not bad. Like I enjoy drinking it. I'd sit down and have a dram. I mean, I have, on multiple occasions. Just sit down and have some and sip on it.
Not a fan of that one.
No. All right. Well, the search continues.
I hope you have more.
we have lots more. All right. Until next time. Cheers, everybody.